It always is nice.
This is. I bought a brand spanking new. Like my office doesn't have overhead lighting, so this is about as good as it gets. I bought a special light. Look at this.
It looks. Your face looks great. Your face looks lovely.
He also performs proctological exams in that room.
That's right. That's right, dude. This is a G'd up setup. I'm excited.
So we're live. Welcome to the Handsome Hour, the live Handsome Hour. This is an after dark Handsome Hour. There are cocktails.
We've got solo cups. We got hair. Yeah.
Oh man, it is. Although Michael's hair is always tousled.
It's always tousled,
but it's
you just want to
perfectly
you just want to run a comb through
just
it.
A little skin.
That's what you want to run through it.
Man, you guys got great. All three of you guys. What the hell am I doing with this bald head?
Yeah, I've seen your college ID, and you had a nice head of hair back then.
It was beautiful. It went away quickly, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Genetics tough to beat. Can't do much about it.
You got a good beard, though. You look like Nick Holt's alter ego.
I'll take that. I will take that any day. I love that.
And how badly do we need those shirts? The Showtime Purdue shirts.
Oh my God!
Oh my goodness!
I put that in the post.
I know.
I looked at it I only noticed it like right at halftime, and they zoomed in on Nick Holt because the defense was dominating, and they did like a quick 30-second thing about Nick Holt's background, and he was wearing Showtime with the Purdue P on it. It was Under Armour. It was this clean white. Awesome. I needed it in my life.
Did you find it?
Under Armour?
No, I can't find it anywhere. I can't find it online. Purdue, please
because
just
he
take
probably
my
had
money.
it printed it like a
$70.
Awesome.
Take it. I don't care.
Money's no big deal to you. I mean,
but now that
you got lots of it, so
they can't wear it.
It's cool. It's cool.
And now that what?
Well, now that it was on TV as Under Armour, Nike will send a cease.
I don't think
that
it was
material.
I think
it was
Nike.
like that. Yeah, it was like that dry fit stuff.
It
was perfect. It was amazing.
Just like Purdue's performance today. Good segue, Anish.
Oh man.
So very good. Very
how
good.
great is it?
So can you tell, do we have people out there? Are people actually watching us right now? Or
there could be people. There could not be people. It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't really matter. Okay. Why does it matter? You want to wait till you have an audience to take your pants off or something?
Well, should we do the hard intro right now? Let's do the hard intro. Jake,
I already did. I already welcomed everybody.
I mean, I want a real one. I want a J Money. I want to hear
the baritone.
Welcome to the Bowl.
Like you've smoked cigars all day and drank this. Do it one more time. One more time. Come on, I want to hear it. I want to feel it.
Come on. You'll just talk over it.
Come on.
He wants it.
No, I'm not going to talk. Go.
Give it to him,
I
Daddy.
want it bad.
Welcome to the Boiled Sports Handsome Hour.
Oh,
we're slap happy and victorious. Purdue is 2-1. Purdue has won consecutive games for the first time.
Oh, give
so
it to
delicious.
In 5
Daddy want more.
Yeah, see, this is where the statistics will turn you on. First consecutive games won in 5 years.
All Dolan internet.
First
5 years
road win against a Power 5 that's not the Big Ten in 12 years. How about that? Arizona 2005. That's a dumb stat because
Notre Dame
and matter, but those were Illinois in the last few years, right? So they don't really count. Come on. That was so as bad as Missouri played. I don't think they're
that was like a glorified scrimmage, right?
But I don't think they're that. They're not that untalented. They got more.
Coming into the game exactly. Coming into the game to pull the curtain back a little bit. I was talking to all of you guys on the group chat, being terrified of getting blown out because if Purdue got blown out, they're probably going to get blown out by Michigan going into their bye, and 2 blowouts in 2 weeks.
I love how it's such a Purdue thing, Anish. You're worrying about something that you shouldn't have really been that worried about. In your heart, you knew what you've seen. Here's what I kept thinking back to is I was thinking about Ryan's bold balls out prediction of a 2-touchdown win, which you were the only one I saw, even among all the people submitting their scores, that said it would be at least that big.
Yeah, I know.
But and I'm sure you saw all of us going through this thought process in the Predicto, right? Where every piece of evidence pointed to that, but as if Missouri hasn't looked that good and Purdue looked really good. But to bring yourself
like muscle
to
memory, right? Isn't that what
right on the road? Come on. Come on.
It's been a long time since you could say that Purdue would just cream a team from a Power 5 conference on the road. I mean, like, we're talking, what, the first year of the – yeah, I was going to say maybe the first year of the Danny Hope era. But
even he didn't. I mean, his one good road win was Toledo, I think. I mean, he didn't beat anybody on a road back then. I mean, maybe an Iowa team, right? But never a game like this.
No, yeah.
Where you went in and just handled them. I mean, he never handled teams like that. So, one of the things that I keep thinking about, I know we have to do this every time. We always talk about the old coaching staffs, but I do think this is relevant. Why is it different with the same talent that Hazel had? I don't think the last two coaching staffs, not only were they not creative, I don't think they studied opponents, right? I don't think they really.
Oh, no kidding.
You know what I mean? Like this. These guys have said, well, this is what'll work against. Let's do it. It doesn't matter who they're playing. They study their opponents. It's what a concept.
Top down, the coaching staff is fantastic. I mean,
they're
professionals. They've worked together. I mean,
I'm just saying, one of us said that Purdue had one of the best coaching staffs in the country, and everybody one of the best. All I said was better. Actually, Purdue has one of the better coaching staffs in the country, and you guys were like the doubting Mustafas over there.
No, I think it was because you said they were one of the best in the country. That's
no, I said well. No, I said better, and I was clear about that. Honestly, right now, there are maybe 20 teams that would keep their coaching staff intact, cut 20 in the country instead of bringing in Coach Brom. Honestly, like, there aren't that many great coaching staffs out there. And like,
are you talking head coach or are you talking
the entire staff? Being comfortable with the entire coaching staff.
So are you saying that like a Florida?
No, I think talk to Spencer Hall at SB Nation. I'm pretty sure he'd take Purdue's entire coaching staff right now.
Yeah, I don't think McElwain is. I think he's good. He's solid, but I don't know that he belongs. He's not going to lead Florida to national titles, and that's what they're.
People who follow college football know who Jeff Brom is. Jeff Brom has now done this for 3 weeks at Purdue with the big boys.
After doing it for 4 years, right?
He's done He's done it for 3 or 4 years at Western.
It's new to him at all.
I feel reflexively, I have to just deny that anything good is happening to Purdue football.
That's fair. You're still in there.
It's like a natural thing that I'm just waiting.
It's not your fault, Michael.
Or something. I don't know. I don't want to have this conversation now.
But I'm just saying, it's just like how
come here, big guy.
It's fun. How fun was it today? We've done handsome hours that nobody has listened to over the last couple of years. Where
many handsome hours.
Where we were
the Purdue basketball beat, on the other hand,
tens of listeners,
a dozen of listeners. But like, we were talking about just how miserable Saturdays had become. Boiler Dowd, you were the one that was saying that you used to plan your life around Saturdays, and now it's like your wife. Like, last couple of years, your wife avoided you on Saturday, right?
That's got very little to do with Purdue.
Yeah, but that's
opening up a whole other thing we don't want to get into.
But like,
let me can I expound upon that real quick, Anish? I had a house full of people, and I don't know if you guys can hear me right now. It's wonky on this end. I had a house full of people. I had 14 diehard Purdue fans here. And it literally took me back to 2001. Like, these are the people that stuck through all the shit, right? We've all lived through the crap, and we kept buying tickets. We kept going to games. But I heard a great story tonight. One of my good friends, best friends, he said, I literally would plan things with my family, watch Purdue, right? And we've all been there, right? Justin said this, right? He said, I think you said this last year. You're like, I think I'm done. I think I can't do this anymore to myself, right? Did you say that? So I don't want to.
Yeah, my wife would say stuff like, "Well, I'll on at noon. What do you?" And I'm like, "It's all right. You can do something at 12:30. It's fine. Whatever you want to do."
You only needed to see the first couple of possessions, and even then.
Yeah. Well, so the different feeling is today. So I was hosting the thing, and we said, everybody bring burgers or brats, and we'll cook the meat, and we'll provide the drinks, and it looks good. I'm gonna go get some Buffalo Trace in a second. We need to get a Buffalo Trace sponsorship, by the way. We need to do it. But anyway, so
that we all drink.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's so good, so good, and it's so affordable.
It is reasonable.
Good.
It's reasonable.
Affordable, and I've been.
I hope the fine people from Buffalo Trace are hearing this beautiful laundry. that we're
I'm
giving
sure
them.
they are.
We'll
They're
send
big
them-
list. They're big BS fans.
They're making-
Send them a link.
So, but anyway, so like I had to go light the grill. I had to patty out the burgers, right? I had to do all this stuff.
He doesn't just buy
patties
patties out there, folks.
he's making them.
Oh no, there's a lot of
grill
love.
do you use?
You come to a boiler
Funnel.
down party, ain't no party like a boiler down party.
Did you make them on your awesome grill?
So I did. I did make them on a char grill or king griller. I mean, I showed a picture of
I know.
that. That was proof. It's like I went out and bought it. I mean, this is before we had our massive lucrative sponsorship deal, which we paid $0 for. But it did generate some tweets and some traffic, which is great.
Do you see on Twitter somebody?
I love that
Mark
damn thing.
Shorn has us on
I
a
kill it.
65-inch screen.
Who does?
And he put a picture up. Mark Goshorn, he's a Madcap Magician is his handle.
Oh, that's sad for him.
He's got us on a 65-inch screen.
If by sad you mean
Yeah, I know that
greatest
guy. He
thing in
was
the entire
excited.
World. Oh
He
man,
was excited to see the podcast tonight. He said he was counting down the hours, I think. So when you announced that it was going to be live, Anish or Jay, I don't know which one of you guys did that. But tonight was magical. I mean, I literally feel like I went back in a time machine. I feel like I did in 2001. Like it's special again, guys.
Right.
And I don't know what else to think about. Like I'm
Well, so
like
what
I didn't want to
what
get
I-
away from the television.
what I was
Right.
thinking about, and I'm directing this to Jay Money and to Dowd. I couldn't
Okay.
stop. So I was a kid when this happened, and I was a kid Purdue fan. I was probably
Yep.
the age of
Oh,
your kid.
great ageism, really
yeah.
great.
Well, no, I was the
I hate our
age. I was
people.
about Boiler Down is about the age of your kid. When I was a diehard Purdue fan as a kid. So when
Yep,
this
that's
happened,
awesome.
I'm asking you guys.
Yeah, you were like out of college at this point.
Right. I can't stop thinking about 97. I know it came like the Notre Dame game was the first, so it was the first one out of the gate, and that's why that's why everything was special. It set up a beautiful, hey buddy, it set up a beautiful 97, I think 9-3 season. Like I don't think we'll go. I know we're not going to go 9-3. I know we're not going to win 8 games this
Do
year.
you know that?
I'm asking
No,
myself.
you wrote. You're making a point here. I'll let you make your point.
No, it's just like I can't. Like we didn't when Braun was hired, he was the perfect guy, right? We knew he was the perfect guy, and we intentionally didn't allow ourselves.
No, we know now he was the perfect
So
guy.
we didn't allow
We know
ourselves
now he's
then
the perfect
to
guy.
think about the Jim Coletto is Daryl Hazel to Joe Tiller is.
I think a few of us thought about it. You're
We
saying
thought-
you did.
We thought about it. We all thought about it, but we were pumped the brakes. We're being Purdue fans, right? Now, like, why can't we think about it? Talk me down, pessimist Michael. Talk me down.
No, you
I
can now.
can't talk you down. I'm bought in on this team. Like I am completely bought in
That's
on this
awesome.
team. And like I think this is a bull team. To be honest, they look. I mean, they just look.
It's an
They just
8-win
look
team.
so good.
Oh, he said it. There it is.
Oh man!
Well, and I don't know if you read Anish's post game yet, but he makes a great point in there, which is not,
I haven't read it yet.
Well, he says he lists
I was
off.
cleaning. I've been
lists-
cleaning the last hour.
He lists. You cleaning yourself up after that? Yeah. Whew, me, I had to as well. He lists out the seven games. What did you say? 7. You didn't include Michigan in that, right? Didn't you list off? You said whatever.
No,
you
so
you
Michigan,
rattled off 7 games, and you didn't mention Wisconsin or Michigan, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Let's just assume those are losses. And I'm not saying they're given, but that was his point was.
I
No, you don't
those are
assume. But then he
losses.
rattled off every other game. And the point is, if you read them and you look at what everybody's done in the first 3 weeks, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Northwestern, Minnesota.
So
His point was, who among that now feels like you don't have any? You're at least 50-50, aren't
That's
you?
great.
Oh my
I'll read you the
goodness.
games. Home versus Minnesota versus Nebraska
Win.
versus Illinois and versus Indiana.
Win.
Oh,
And the road
Win.
games are Rutgers, Northwestern, and Iowa.
oh my
Win.
gosh.
Win.
Like what? Which one of those now makes you nervous? And the thing is, I couched
Wisconsin
it.
and Michigan make me nervous. That's it.
The thing is, I've couched it because it's like we're probably overreacting a little too much because based on a showing versus a really what looks like a really rusty Louisville, because Louisville's down against Clemson right now.
Clemson's the freaking reigning national champion.
Clemson's the powerhouse.
Can you guys
legit?
But think about what if they held on against Louisville? What if they held on against Louisville and they were 3-0 right now?
The two games that we're really basing this on are
about what, 15th, 17th?
Oh man, that's what. So the wife was asking me this: what happens if there's a decent showing, or heaven forbid, Purdue beats Michigan next week?
I can't allow myself to.
I can't. No,
you have to now.
All of a sudden, we'd be top 25. We are seriously in like a position.
Okay, no, just for kicks. Do you think they're in top 25 if they beat Michigan?
Yes. I think at least they're like 27.
Yes.
Because
I think they're in also.
No. They're 21st. They're 20th or 21st at that point. They're gonna. I think. Here, listen. Yeah.
This is gonna be excited down to my giblets.
They're either going to receive votes or at least get tons of hype this week. People started noticing last week around Wednesday, Thursday, and it's like it takes the media a little bit of time to sift through all the stuff before they see, whoa, Purdue just beat the hell out of a bowl team, right?
Well, but I think that started after the Louisville game.
By the way, Ohio whipped Kansas today. Yes. Kansas is Kansas, right?
Oh, did they really?
But they whipped
45-20 or something?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that close either.
Ohio doesn't suck, guys. They don't suck. They're going to win 8 games again this year. And Purdue just beat the hell out of them, right?
So is Purdue.
Then Purdue comes in Missouri. Missouri is a team that, right, in recent history,
at the very least, they've got great offensive weapons.
That can score points.
Yeah.
Exactly.
My favorite part of the SEC Network broadcast was that more than once they put on the screen that this season Missouri is averaging 600 yards of offense a game. I was like, well, they had 800 in their first game. So
scored 72 points in one game since
threw 7 touchdowns in the first game of the season. I was like, yeah.
The deviation might be a little high on that average. But like
he didn't look like he wanted to be there.
No, they didn't. I mean, and so that's the thing you were afraid of. Apparently, the defensive coordinator. So, Jay, you went on the Mizzou, which I mean, that was a great episode. They're pretty funny. And they were saying that the DC was pretty much a glorified linebackers coach, and nobody really liked him. So there was that worry that maybe they would come out a little emotional, maybe they'd come out, a little hyped, and not stop Purdue at all. And turns out they sucked. Turns out Purdue throttled them. And the biggest thing was the defense. Can any of you believe how good the defense is right now?
I can't. I thought the linebackers were going to be solid. Probably the best unit that we had heading into the season. But I was worried about the secondary and worried about the line, and everything. Like all 11 have been great. It's been fantastic.
They're good.
I mean, you have to.
How about this, guys? This is something that I've been really hitting on this idea the last week and a half, and that is that programs get better when they're good. I know it's a weird idea. When you're up on a team, by 3 touchdowns, right? What happens? The freshmen come in. Did you guys see the third and fourth quarter? It was freshmen. It was a bunch of names that I was like, I don't know anybody here, right? And they were in the wood. I mean,
they were just getting reps. See, that's the thing. They were getting road reps in the SEC.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
exactly. Getting road reps for an SEC opponent.
The other thing that
this is okay. I'll take it.
In addition to the defense, the offense was putting up big plays. Like in the first quarter, 5 plays of 20 or more yards. That I did not think, even with Brum, that this was an offense that could do that. Mostly because of the wide receivers.
I don't want to. Before I'm going to interject right into that point. Okay, Michael, I'm not interrupting. I'm interjecting. I'm adding.
Sure. No, that's fine.
Can you guys tell me? I'm empty. Can you get the waitress?
Guys, I'll take one more.
Please? What do I have to do to get a refill? Who did number 11 look like in that first quarter to you? Did he remind you of of another Purdue player.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do that. I can't do that far. I can't go that far. I can't.
I mean, Anish is crazy,
I can.
but he's not that crazy.
I'm not that crazy.
Mm.
I'm going to say Curtis Painter. How about that?
He was from Texas as well. He scrambled and kept his eyes down the field. He was a diminutive quarterback.
He didn't look unlike the quarterback in 2004. He was, and Blau was
way more than that guy.
Blau was efficient, like his usual efficiency.
He was better than efficient. He was better than efficient. He did something where he scrambled right, scrambled left, had a guy on his left shoulder, and he shuttled it underneath, to Fuller. Do you remember that play?
Well, that was like the 5th play of the game.
It was magic.
Well, I think the biggest difference with Blau is that he's making good decisions all the time. Yeah.
And he's not afraid to just give up on a play that's not going anywhere.
Yes.
And I think that was among the most exciting things that I'd see. Like he'd intentionally, like he'd be out of the pocket and just kind of throw the ball out or throw it up.
Yeah.
At the end of the first drive, he had he was fading towards 3 covered receivers and he was gonna force it. And instead, he pump faked it. I think he even faked himself out. He didn't know he was going to hold the ball back. Right. And he just broke an easy arm tackle and walked into the end zone. 5 yards, touchdown, no interception.
Okay. Yep.
That set the tone for the game. That right there. That play. Oh,
that was awesome.
Good. It was amazing.
It was amazing.
How about the 4th and goal where I was trying to guess the play? I don't know about you guys. I was talking aloud to the people I was watching the game with, and I didn't see the play. I didn't see it coming. I didn't predict what they did. And that was a telltale sign to me. I'm like, oh, this coaching staff has so many things in the bag that we don't know about.
Did you say the 4th down play? Is that what you're talking about?
Is this the Reggie Worship touchdown?
4th and goal.
What bothered me about
it was
that was
Blau faked it into line. There was play action. He rolled right and dumped it.
To Worship.
But there was nobody there. There was nobody on him. It was Worship. Okay. And he dumped it to Worship, who had nobody on him. So how many times have we seen this season? 1, pocket holds up. There's not anybody near Blau, right? Stays dead clean. You look out, throws a receiver who doesn't have 10 or 15. He is 10 or 15 yards of space. We see it over and over and over. And it's not because Purdue's receivers are geniuses. It's not because these guys are burners, not because they run Taylor Stubblefield type of routes. It's because these coaches are setting things up perpetually. They are putting things in place all the time, right? Purdue was running the ball into the line, and you're like, that's not working between the tackles, right?
Right.
And then later they set it up. They play action into the line, dumped it over the top. I think it was Herdman.
Well, even
it's so delicious. There's so much happening.
The 4th down that you're talking about, they ran. I tweeted. I said that was like shades of a Hazel offense because there was like 3 up the middle.
Right. Stuff. It was right after that interception.
Well, and Missouri was stacking the line, right? And on the 4th down, I'm like, look, they're stacking the line again. I mean, they were like 8 in the box. They were just like all over them, and that's.
Just a quick play.
We thought they would do. Yeah.
There's a big difference between that offense and the Hazel offense, right? Is there one big difference? Can you guys think of it? They scored. They freaking scored, right?
Like touchdowns. Yeah. No, that was a well.
Points.
Can anybody guess?
They scored 35 points.
Anybody want to?
35 American points. Yeah. No exchange rate.
That's right. That was not Mexican points. Those were American points.
American points. That's right. Just the versatility. And so actually, Michael, this reminded me of something that you said last week, where I was kind of worried that the Ohio game was such an important game. The Ohio game was among the most important games of his tenure, of Jeff Brom's tenure, which is like, if you lose that one, it sets up the entire season for just like failure. So I thought he was going to pull out all of the stops for that game. It looked like he did. We got the double flea flicker. It was awesome. And Michael, your response to me wondering if that was just the coaching staff pulling out all the stops was, I don't think they ever pull out. I don't think they rein anything in. I think they play every card every time they got it. And I don't think you could have been more right this week.
And you saw it in the play calls in Missouri, just had no answer for any of that stuff. And Dowd, you made this point. The receivers were getting behind the corners And they were catching the ball and running 5-10 yards before anyone touched them. And that's
being receivers. It was awesome.
Yeah,
it was great. It was fantastic to watch.
But I think Purdue reined it in a little bit in the second half, right? Do we worry?
Are you kidding me?
About
They
the second half?
did.
Okay, because Brahms brought it up a couple times that he hasn't liked the second halves of these games. And
you don't need the second half. I mean, the game's freaking over in the first half. Yeah. It's ridiculous. And all they need is one score in the second half to just really
right on the throat.
I hate to do this. I'm going to do this right now. I hate to do it. Somebody at another Purdue website, another blog site,
I can't think
excellent
of any.
tweet. They said, when is the last time you can remember a Purdue opponent just gave up because Purdue had beaten them up so bad they're like, eh. And so the second half's actually boring. I will take umbrage with the idea of that game being boring. I can tell you, when Purdue's up by 1 billion points in the second half, I am glued to the effing screen. I'm just like, this is heaven, man. I don't want it to be close. I don't want it to be a good game. I want Purdue to win by 1 billion every time they play.
Every time, yeah.
Oh my God! I mean, the last time Purdue demoralized an opponent, I don't know. I think there was one
last week. Well,
no, so in the pre-Brom, I think there was there one during the I think there was one during the Hazel tenure.
Well, it was the Nebraska game, maybe.
Yeah, because Nebraska almost came back.
No, they came back. They came back.
They were not demoralized. They were embarrassed.
I think
embarrassed they got beaten by Purdue.
That's what I mean.
They put SEC Network put up a stat that said, I've never thought about it this way. Purdue has lost 40 of their last 50 games.
Oh my gosh!
And I was like, why you got to say it like that?
Wait. Say that again. Say that. Wait. Let's everybody be quiet. Anish, say that one more time, please.
Purdue has lost 40 before this game. Purdue had lost 40 of their last 50 games.
10 and 40.
That is horrible.
What does that even mean?
50
we still have a website.
Long time.
How did we survive through that?
I don't know.
20% winning percentage.
Yeah. Oh my God. And
for 50 games, that's essentially 5 years.
And you brought this up at the top. The last time Purdue won back-to-back victories was after the team that loved Danny Hope. It was leaked that Danny Hope was going to be fired, so they rattled off the three. I think it was Iowa, Illinois, and Indiana.
Yep, to go to the bowl game.
Right on.
But it was at the Iowa game.
Iowa on the road, Illinois on the road, Indiana at home, right?
And the Iowa game was like that week was when it leaked out that Hope was gone, right? And so. That's the last time it took.
Everybody knew except for Hope.
It took the firing of the coach and everybody rallying around.
This is a program.
Not the last coach. The coach before the last coach.
Right. Exactly. This is a program where the last time they won those consecutive games, the coach who had been fired for being incompetent, essentially, was carried off the field on his players' shoulders. I don't think we realize how embarrassing that is.
Well, so if there's anything that Coach Hope was, it was loved. Like, he was loved by his players, right?
Oh, yeah. He's a player's guy.
But
I don't know.
He's
yeah, that was like the Rose Bowl when.
My favorite part of that, though, is that we were then able to use that photo to talk about, what if Purdue won a national title? And you had that picture because it was like. It's like, when do you get that sort of footage, right?
You can put that picture right next to the Drew Brees with the rose in his mouth picture.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Purdue, when they go
I have totally forgotten about that. That was crazy.
Oh, gosh.
Even in hindsight, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
No.
But that's like the most Purdue thing ever.
Wait. I got a Purdue thing for you.
Program that is now doing this. You can't envision
guys.
Right
did
now.
You guys? Hold on. Did you guys have this thought? Okay, here's a Purdue thought. Okay. My Purdue thought of the day was, oh, crap. Notre Dame's going to come after him this offseason.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah. So the two that I've always been scared of, and I've told you guys this behind the scenes, Notre Dame and Louisville. Louisville's going to happen. Louisville's going to happen some point. We should be okay with it.
Babinski.
I've already accepted it.
But if Notre Dame so my thing was, if he beats Michigan, give him a $3 million raise. Literally a $3 million a year raise. Notre Dame, go ahead, buy that out.
They would.
But,
There's no number you could put on it. That
Brom, go
At
ahead
one
and
point, they were paying like what 4 head coaches.
Yeah,
Brom,
no.
Money is
You're not going to be able to outspend Notre Dame in these.
Brom, do you want to
Wait,
take
no,
the
yes, you
Notre Dame
can. Yes, you can. Time out. I've thought about this. You can outspend Notre Dame right now. I really believe this, okay? So they're not going to go after Brom thinking he's the best thing ever, right? They're going to go after him thinking he's the hottest name, right? Discount. So they're going after what? $4 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong?
Yeah. Oh yeah, probably like 4. Yeah, that'd be their a $1 million raise.
I think what Babinski needs to do, Babinski needs to go to him and say right now, listen, I want you to retire at Purdue.
Yeah, we'll do anything. We'll do anything so that you retire at Purdue. You are.
If Notre Dame comes after you, give me a chance to match, and I will match it. Period. And you say that to the trustees, listen, guys, if Notre Dame comes after him, we're going to do whatever they do, and we're going to change history. We're going to turn over the shitty leaf that we've been a part of as the Purdue athletics family for the rest of for everybody, for the kids, for the grandkids. I want little Boiler Dowd. I want little Boiler Dowd to graduate from Purdue and watch Jeff Brom as the coach.
I think you have to understand that.
And Matt Payne.
That is very
shush. I don't want to ever hear that word again.
Don't ever say anything to me like that.
How much of a contrast? Here, how about this, guys? Purdue was up 32 points. 32 points. And they went for it on 4th down multiple times.
Oh, I loved it. I loved
they
it.
almost
you
can see it. You can see that the one where it was a 4th down at their own 30-yard line. You can see it pained him to get to punt it away. Like you could just see it. He wanted to go for it. He was confident.
One of my favorite Purdue football memories from watching the game in person was when I was at Purdue and they beat the crap out of Ball State and then played IU at Ross-Ade, and we chanted at the end, Ball State was better, right? Yeah. And I loved it because we were pasting the crap out of these teams like 6-7. Yeah. And I thought about that.
What year is that?
Oh, when was that? 04, 03, something like that?
Yeah. 04 was the year that they beat IU like 62 to
It must have been 04
because I was at that one too. I came back for that.
But I was thinking about that during this game. I was like, we've got a coach who can do that now. Right. Like who once he gets his people in there can score 60 points in a game, and it's not going to be a problem.
Dude, listen. It doesn't matter. You don't have to wait for his people to get in there. He's doing things right now that you're like, this team sucked last week. I mean, Phillips looked like a slow, shitty receiver last week. He made a fake in the first quarter that I was like, what the hell just happened? He faked right, guy missed. Fake left, guy missed. Got an extra 10 yards.
Did
you guys see that coming? Because I didn't see that coming.
Did Terry Wright get faster in the last week and learn how to catch the ball? What the hell happened there?
That was crazy.
But when he got the ball in his hands.
How about Holmes grabbed one in the 3rd quarter. There was like a snap out. It's like my guess is they have Coach Holt threatening them, right?
With his brow.
There's like a beloved pet somewhere
bumping into them like
above a vat of acid, and they're like, "You better catch this ball."
Well, by the way, just a quick side here, doesn't Terry Wright sound like one of your mother's book club friends?
Yeah. It's very, very non-threatening sounding.
Right. I was thinking like 80s pop singer.
Yeah. It just sounds like an old lady to me. Oh, this is Terry Wright. I'd like you to meet Michael.
It was right on the reverse, right? Yeah. Where he was called for taunting, but it was called back for a holding anyway, so it didn't really matter. But it was that taunt that kind of negated.
The taunt was put your hands out and celebrate.
It was bull crap, though. That whole thing was crap.
The fact that you can't celebrate anymore. Somebody else had one called back today for that exact thing.
Oh yeah,
Iowa had one called back, running to the end zone. All he did was high step into the end zone, like the last 5 yards.
Hey guys, I've got some horrible news. This is breaking news.
Brown's been hired by Blue.
No. I just checked my Gmail account, and it says Boiled Sports is now live. Handsome Hour number 109. Boilermakers crush the mighty SEC, and it's my ugly mug. Why? How the hell does that work?
That's clickbait, baby. That's clickbait right there. So
that's awful.
I think if Notre Dame, who is going to hire a coach, is going after Brom, I don't know if Brom wants that job. I think he wants Louisville. I think he wants Louisville or he wants the NFL.
No, I don't think he wants the NFL.
I don't want to talk about Brom leaving. I don't want to talk about him leaving.
But my thing is,
do you think
I don't
maybe
think
that some of the Notre Dame fans will think that he's not white because of the birthmark or the thing on his neck, so that'll scare him away?
They'll get fooled. No, I'm just saying I don't think we have to worry about Notre Dame. Like, it crossed my mind, but I don't think we have to worry about Notre Dame.
Oh, I make myself laugh.
Before we went live, Dal told me, he's like, I've been drinking vodka for hours.
For hours.
I've just been watching Purdue for hours, so I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
God, that was fun.
It feels good, to have this podcast after Purdue shut the football program down for so many years.
Oh, I was going to say something about that. I've
That's
missed
the thing.
football.
I always say that. Back when Purdue had a football program, right?
Well, that's like the post I did when they were tearing down the bleachers, right? I said they were dismantling the stadium and they were getting rid of the football program. And you made me.
It was so perfect.
You made me cut out stuff. That was
it was rough.
Brutal.
It was rough. The initial.
But here's the thing.
You can go back and look at it. I'm sure you saved it.
When your team sucks,
it's therapeutic.
It's easy to complain about lights in the southeast end zone and parking.
Well,
shitty food.
Ryan's made that point before. Like, think about how Ross Aid was rocking in 2000. It didn't matter what they did or didn't have.
We're all friends at that point. Right? Everybody's friends at that point.
And we're talking about Babinski like he's our best friend, right? Like now,
no, he's my buddy.
Like I love him.
He's my best friend.
Like the
Tom
single.
Shots my Tom Shots.
No.
I don't think he would return that.
I don't think he would either.
Imagine that, the same president of Purdue 4 years ago said that he didn't want to enter the rat race. Right? He didn't want to the arms. He didn't want to enter the nastiness that was college football. Hiring, like the money, and 4 years. It took 4 years of losing to get.
I'll tell you why that is.
Reality.
Here's why I think he said that. I think Mitch Daniels, he's a politician and he's a guy who listens to the people that are in the different roles that they have. He's learned that if you're going to be successful as a politician and a leader, you have to trust the people who are in the respective roles you've presumably put them in. Yep. So when Morgan Burke said, hey, Mitch, into an arms race, that's my Morgan Burke. I don't know why I'm doing it. He said he felt his job was to support that narrative because the athletic director should know more than I should know about it. Right now, he's got an athletic director who's saying, "Hey, Mitch, if you want to turn this around, here's what we need to do." And I think it's important that we do that.
I think that's absolutely the point. That's absolutely, and because Morgan Burke was the guy who 2 years ago said to the media that maybe we should look at freshman eligibility. This is not the most forward thinking. I swear, I had to stop reading that article when I saw
Jackson
that.
Anthrop, sorry, Danny Jackson.
I made that. I had to edit the post because I said that I wrote Danny Anthrop.
Yeah. You know what?
But I think he hired someone who's competent, who was in his ear saying, "This is what we need. This is what we need." And we're not talking about Louisville-style cheating, right? We're talking about paying coaches like a competitive wage,
and
not paying strippers competitive wages. Hookers. I'm sorry, not strippers.
Oh, you're right. That closing meeting.
Yeah, much more than strippers.
When Brom was on the fence. And it took all three of them, like the chairman of the board, Mitch, and the AD.
Gather around an iPhone. I'm glad someone knew how to put it on speaker.
Can you imagine Morgan Burke trying to figure out a three-way call? Come on.
No, he still has his. It's not even the flip phone. It's the brick, the one before where you played Snake on it.
To his belt.
But that's the kind. That was how close we came to. Who I probably would have been maybe Joe Moorhead or somebody else
or that crazy nut job from Air Force Calhoun. He wants to.
Calhoun would have been fun, but
he would have been something.
He would have been he would have been something. But
use that triple option, boys.
Hey, I'm good with the triple option now. If Jeff Brom turns into a triple option offense, I'm not doubting it. Are you doubting it? I'm not.
No, but he won't, and that's what's awesome. He won't. And today there were no real trick plays, right? There were no gadget plays.
A couple of reverses, but nothing too much.
But none of them. I mean, and delayed the delayed shovel pass and stuff like that. But nothing.
Yeah. But aggressive. It was aggressive.
Everything was moving fast vertically.
And so reading a couple previews, you would have actually thought that a fast-paced game was favoring Missouri. Everybody was talking about that as it Missouri wants to be the one to get snaps off really quick.
7-point favorites.
Yeah, I mean Missouri in the second half averaged 4 plays per drive. The entire second half, the average number of plays per drive was 4, and they didn't score.
Did you see when they threw the stat on the board with the 30 seconds to go in the first half when they got the ball because of the interception, and it said first play in Purdue territory?
Man,
when was the last time something like that happened?
A long time since Purdue's had a good, legitimate good defense.
Like an entire defense, right? We've had superheroes like Ryan Kerrigan on the defense. We've had like these individual players, but like the entire unit just swarming the football like that. I mean, Michael, the word that you said, the word that you said earlier was what defines this Purdue team. It's not an offensive juggernaut. It's not like this stout defense. It's not this air raid. It's not it's just aggression. It's aggressiveness. It's just constant at the opponent, not giving them a single moment to be able to.
Right. And guys like Juwan Bentley is thriving in this role. Like he is all over the place. And like he's just playing downhill all game, and he's
going to make millions of dollars because of Jeff Brom. Period.
He's going to get it. Like,
and so are a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, like I think it's just.
Do you guys love watching him get pissed off? Do you guys love that? I mean,
when he was pressing down Blau in the first half,
Blau looked frightened.
Well, no, that's the other thing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, sir. Yeah. That's all he's.
He said, yes, sir. He was like, yes, that was my bad. He was looking at him in the eye the entire time. He wasn't looking away.
Well, Blau's a good kid, too. I mean, he's a respectful
But that's kid. Not even it. If you're getting torn down by somebody...
Yeah, it's natural to look down.
But by somebody who like, at the end of the day had your back. At the end, when worst comes to worst, they have your back. You're gonna take the yelling because you know that they have something important to say. They have.
You know he's right, too.
Oh my God!
And that's the thing. They know he's right. Him and his brother, they know that they can teach those quarterbacks how to play.
It's just like, but that's the thing is like that. Usually you'd look away, you'd look straight ahead. I mean, like at the end, we're talking about a 21-year-old, a 20-year-old. I was dumb at 20 years old. I probably, if somebody's yelling at me, I probably would have yelled at him right back. Dowdy, I know you would throw fisticuffs if somebody was going to yell at you.
Oh, it'd be hard. It'd be hard. I was thinking about that. Him getting in my face. Man, it had to be somebody who garnered a lot of respect, right? I mean, but how much more respect can you garner than doing what this team has already done?
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody that's really, respectable. But look at, I mean, Dave Blau's no dodo, right? And you look at, he remembers how shitty things were 365 days ago, right? And he's like, wow, this is working.
It's a lot better.
This is really working.
Pressed down, but it's in.
Yeah, things are a touch better.
By multiple touchdowns.
And Sindelar came in for a drive for the rest. I mean,
after that.
It was actually really good timing because Blau's first drive where he looked a little shaky was that one. There was like 5 minutes left in the first half.
Right.
Purdue stopped them. They went 3 and out immediately. And just for the last 4 minutes of the first half is what Sindelar got. How
about a coach using a 2-quarterback system that doesn't make you want to pull your hair out?
Wait. Time out. It's a 3-quarterback system, and it doesn't feel forced. Does it feel forced at all? Does it feel like you're like, what are they doing? Nope. It feels like he's like, okay, this makes sense. He's bringing somebody in just to give Blau a minute to think about his stupidity.
Because he can.
And he comes in, and Blau comes out because he can. Sindelar is legit, dude.
Oh, yeah.
It's a 3-quarterback system where you know the role of each 3 quarterbacks. Blau is the starter. He's the guy with the experience. He's the starter. Sindelar is good enough to be the starter and good enough to light the fire under Blau's ass. And Sparks is good enough to put on trick plays.
You've got a I mean, Michael, I don't even know your sibling situation, but how badly would Sparks? Do you know he wanted to throw at his brother?
Oh my God!
Brother's a DB, and you're up 35-3. What's the harm? Oh, come on, coach. Let me just burn him, please.
Oh my God! And the family—that's the thing. The family looked miserable. They didn't want to be there.
People left in the stands, weren't they?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Man. I mean, like they were that perfect combination of happy and miserable because one kid is getting blown out and the other kid is like having the time of his life. But like the role of each three quarterback. There is a quarterback hierarchy. All three of them are being used, and all of them are being used to further the team. And if I'm sure if Blau was healthy. Like this might be a backhanded, or they might have backed into this with Blau's injury. If Blau wasn't injured, he may have taken it from day one, right? Because over the summer, the entire coaching staff, both Braun brothers were talking really highly about Blau. But like this might be the best. I mean, like I think we're going to get a better version of Blau than we've seen now. Michigan's secondary is not a good. That's not a good matchup.
Let's talk for a few minutes about that. We'll probably talk again this week. But Michigan is not. Michigan took till the 58th minute of their game today to score an offensive touchdown. So I'm not saying. I don't think that they're as good as. Certainly not they were a year or two ago.
I'm not. I don't watch a lot of soccer. What quarter was that?
No,
it was
let that joke rattle around.
Injuries and stuff.
This year was always supposed to be a rebuilding. This year was always supposed to be a rebuilding year for Michigan football, right?
For a top 10 team.
But exactly, they're still a undoubtedly top 15, top 20 team, possibly in this year a top 10.
And Harbaugh recruits like crazy. Like he's got some talent on that team, and they're going to get better every week. So, do we have a kickoff time?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
I think it's 4 o'clock. Yeah.
On homecoming, which is pretty cool.
Gosh.
I mean, I think it was somebody. I think it may have been UJ who was running the Bold Sports account. Said what were the 4 times that the first 4 games were?
8-4-4 the first 4 games. Right. That hasn't happened since '97.
No noon kickoffs.
But this 4 o'clock game
another parallel to 97. What do you think? Another parallel to 97.
Well, so let's have a question about Saturday. Is it going to be sold out?
Oh, yeah.
I don't. Well, sold out.
I think so.
Remember, the capacity is down to like 57 now. It's not like it was.
It's a 4 o'clock game. It's against an opponent that's near, that travels really well.
That's true.
And all the Purdue fans are now excited.
I got a fun fact. In the third quarter, a pal of mine who was watching the game with me said, "Guess how much tickets are on StubHub right there?" And I was like,
"What, for
25?" He's like, "Yeah, 45."
45.
Middle of third quarter.
45.
Look at us with real ticket prices for Ross 8.
Yeah, how about that? I mean, that's crazy because I got to tell you, that's something that I never wanted to go to this game. I've been very consistent on that, I think, since before the season started, right? And so I was like, maybe I should go to this. And I was like,
you should go to tailgate and get nice and lubed up, and then
yeah,
go to 4 o'clock game.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, will there be a Dowd appearance at the Dowd family?
Here's the thing. This is one of those where if you were there and it does happen, you're going to be down there.
Oh, yeah.
Around
just to be there, right? Just to be there.
But that's the thing. It's like now we're dreaming of this, right? It's not going to happen.
You're allowed.
But
I would say to you guys going into this, I said, what if they blow out Missouri? Then you're going to start thinking about this.
You're right. I'm thinking about it.
I'm really thinking about it. You're allowed to now. He's giving you a reason that's 2 straight blowout wins.
It's not completely
can we let's do 1 second. Let's do one thing real quick, okay? I like it when you do this. We peel back the curtain. We tell them what's going on. Oh, yeah. We tell them what was happening before the game. Our conversation between the 4 of us. And this was so fun, right? It wasn't if Purdue was going to blow up Missouri. It was if Missouri was going to blow up Purdue. And we were all like, nah, that won't happen. That won't happen, right? But all of us had a little thought it might happen because of old Purdue ways, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're in a completely different universe right now. I mean, everything's changed. The optics changed. They have these fancy chrome helmets that now, I got to tell you, those unis were clean.
Oh, they were fresh. They were fresh.
I'm beginning to think my theory about the
when you play like
that,
the uniforms get real fresh, though, don't they?
I'm beginning to think more and more that the black and white helmets are gone.
I don't care. I just love the black pants, the clean white.
I like that look too. I like that contrast.
And then that chrome gold. Oh, the chrome gold.
Delicious.
I just I don't know, man. When was the last time? Yeah, like
What?
this exciting. This exciting. Like it's
No,
been
a long time.
like even
You
watching,
never-
at least for me,
1997.
maybe for
so when I was watching Purdue,
no,
or
you were
when
this
I was
excited
at
in 04.
Purdue, yeah. So 04 was one of them. When I was at Purdue, it was just
Mhm.
Brian Kerrigan. Like you never knew when he would explode. Like that was what was exciting.
But your
the
hope was
team,
that he could win a
That's
game
like
by
you.
himself.
That's like it's what your wife says, right? Isn't that what she says?
knows right now. I'm ready. I'm ready to explode. Excitement. What did you think I was talking about? Enthusiasm.
My fault.
Doesn't matter. There's no way she
I screwed
listens to
that up.
this. That's fine.
But like,
That's a mistake.
but like the actual team, like in the 5-0 start, the Curtis Painter 5-0 start in 07. That was cool, but like you kind of knew, like, and they were ranked in the top. I think that was the last time they were ranked in the top 25. But yeah, we as Purdue fans, we all knew kind of bullshit.
That was a weak 5-0, but yes,
that was a weak 5-0. We all knew it, and we were all thankful for the 25, the top 25 votes. But we knew it was coming crashing down pretty soon. We didn't realize how hard it would be coming crashing down on us.
Pretty bad.
Quickly and hard. Yeah.
But like,
Life comes at you fast when you're a Purdue fan.
but when I like the entire team, like feeling this excitement must have been 04. Must have been 04.
That was a special time. College game day came to campus.
that's right.
And this
Purdue
team
fans
isn't-
misspelled
And then
it.
it's professional, but the reason that you're so scarred is because then the bottom dropped out from under you. Like it always does.
Raise your hand if you were there.
I
was
wasn't.
there
No.
part of
there.
I think I've told this story. I'll tell it again.
Yes, you have told that story. It's a great story. I enjoy that story.
Story?
So you
Which
were a
story? Which
junior,
story?
right? Or a
Right,
sophomore or a
I was
junior?
a sophomore.
A sophomore.
Awesome.
Something like that. Sophomore or junior.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was coerced. Let's just say he was coerced to leaving the game early.
He left
But
the
that
04
was
game.
that was honestly though, that was probably the last time that it was fun week in and week out to be a Purdue fan. Because even though Danny Hope was winning games, he was winning games against teams that were shitty and then losing most of the time against any team that was any good. So it's hard to feel good about any of those Danny Hope
No,
games.
that wasn't that fun.
The end of the Tiller era got kind of which is kind of crazy.
That featured those years.
Yeah, it was only 11, 12, 13 years. Like it wasn't really that long of a time, but like
Oh, that's
It's
a long time.
When you start saying that and rattling off those years,
it was
18-year-olds, their eyes glaze over and they're like, "What does that
You're
mean?"
talking about 20 years.
13 years.
and so now we're at a time when frankly this team, like at least by recruiting analysis, isn't that talented. This team by the last couple of years isn't that talented, and yet this team is playing with such energy, with such precision that like they could stack up with at least anybody in the Big Ten.
Well, you feel like the coaching staff puts the team in a position to be successful.
Just maximize strength. That's what you do when you recruit subpar. When you don't recruit, not subpar players. When you don't recruit like a constant 5-star. Yeah, you put your 2 and 3 star players in position where their strengths can be maximized.
Purdue is quickly approaching that swagger that we all love, that nobody wanted any part of. Right, like not that there aren't programs that are still far more talented and should, Wisconsin, Ohio State should expect to beat Purdue, but now they're going to have to. There's a part that's like
think about it.
I think we're there. I think we're there.
That's what I'm saying. We're fast approaching that. Well, it's too. I think, but the other thing I was going to say, just as we start to wind this down, is I don't know about you guys. I've already started to think, oh man, there's some coaches in the Big Ten I want a piece of.
Oh my God! I told you at the beginning of the year I wanted 2 games. I was okay going winless. I want Fleck and I want IU.
Shit, yeah.
Those are the 2 that I want. I want Fleck. I want every little bit of Fleck. I want Jeff Brum coming out with a fork and a knife and just
carving them up.
And it's like a plate of wings, and he just cleans them with a fork and a knife. With precision, and the bones are clean. I just want him.
Clean them out with a wire brush.
Oh God, I just want every little part.
But let's think about future year schedules. I want James Franklin.
I want Franklin.
Man, and I want to say, is that like Akron, coach? Is that like that?
I can tell you, I don't want Urban. I can tell you, I don't
I'm
want
not worried about
Harbaugh.
it. Danny Hope almost beat Urban.
I'm all right with him.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'll take them
Man.
on. They have a problem with Purdue. They've for years had a problem with Purdue.
It's these talented teams
Back
like
50
Wisconsin.
years.
These teams like Wisconsin, like Ohio State, like Michigan, not like Penn State this year, but those are the teams that don't play when they're like they usually don't get forced to play faster than they want. They want to control the game with their brutes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Purdue wins. It's almost like we've been saying this for the last 10 years. Right. Purdue wins when we dictate the weirdness of the game.
Yeah, and it's weirdness is the right word. We have to do something different than everybody else because we're not going to.
But how about this? Can I ask you a question? Can I ask a question, all you guys? Okay. We saw a couple things happen today. Purdue changed pace at multiple times, right? They went to hurry up when they felt like going to hurry up. They decided to, okay, we're going to just ram it down their throat at times. They said we're gonna run misdirection at times. There's no gimmick here, right? I mean, am I missing something? I mean, I've watched a lot of football. There's no gimmick happening, and cheap. The seams. It's not cheap, right?
You can't even put a word to it. So like, it's not like Lincoln Riley's air raid is it's not a gimmick. It's just it's just a style, and he's really good at it. And that team is brilliant, and really for that Oklahoma team is brilliant and talented and really fun to watch. That's not quite a gimmick. It's just a style of play. We don't even have that. We just have aggression. Just have smart, creative aggression, and that is so.
But we've tried to describe that in the past to say, even if Purdue doesn't win a lot of games, all I want to see is a team that's prepared, that doesn't quit, that doesn't make a billion mistakes. Right? They're not making big mistakes. They're well prepared. They hustle the entire game, and look at that! You beat teams you should beat when you do those things.
It was agony watching this team play for the last several seasons. It was like pulling teeth.
The
same players running,
It was agony watching this team play in the spring.
Yeah.
Like
that's the thing.
That's not
but he was just letting it. He wanted to see what he had. And he remember the quotes where he would say, wow, this
I guess
basically he would say they were further away than I thought, or shit like that, right? Where he'd be like, when I watched last year, I saw this team quit a lot. Goodness. Like
this team,
they were going to hear that. He knew they were.
This team now, 3 games into it, this team now would run through a wall for Jeff Brom.
But here's the thing, guys. When they
right?
But what we've yet to see, how are they going to react if they get slapped around for a half or a game or something? What if Michigan beats, is up 21-3 at halftime on Saturday? How do they react to that? Right? We don't know yet. You can't even say because you don't know yet. Right? So
I mean, but they went toe to toe with Louisville and made awful mistakes against Louisville.
It was the first game,
but they came back. They were aggressive every time. So you hope that carries through to Michigan, and we'll talk about Michigan, and I think we'll hit on the rest of the Big Ten later this week. But like, seeing if the team, tonight, while the euphoria is still in, I think a Louisville-like showing would be beyond the first 4 weeks that I could have dreamed of. Oh, you know what I mean?
Oh,
would Purdue beat Louisville if they played them next week?
What's that?
Well, so Louisville is currently
played them next week.
Louisville is currently getting wiped by Clemson, who seems to be good at football. Clemson.
I don't think Louisville's as good as everyone thought. Honestly, I mean, look what they had to do with North Carolina.
Louisville's a top 20 team. They've got the best player in college football on their team. I still believe.
Yes, I don't disagree.
I think Clemson is really, really good at defense.
I think Clemson and Alabama are really good.
Win the title again this year.
Yeah, Clemson and Bama are really good. I think it'd be close if Purdue plays Louisville again. I think it's pretty close. The quarterback. I think both teams are better. I'll say that. But I think, a Purdue Louisville
bowl selections would love that because of the Brom connection.
Play it in Indy again. Oh my goodness. I don't even know if there's a bowl in Indy. I don't care. Facts.
I kind of doubt it.
Facts.
Facts.
I was thinking about it. I was like,
there should be one.
I don't understand how that.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
oh my God, that would be a bowl game, wouldn't it? Winner gets to keep Jeff Brom.
Shut your face. Shut your face.
Not betting those chips yet.
Yeah. No, I'm in on this team, but I'm not like that in on this team.
No,
You never are.
Oh my God! But he's been hurt.
I know. So have we all.
He's been hurt.
But you have to let go. You have to love again.
Reverse come basketball season.
You have to love again. Otherwise,
can I read you guys something? I found this quote back in July of 2014. Can I read something to you guys real quick?
Read it to me.
Okay, so I've been kind of referring to this quote for a year and a half. Okay, I've referred to it during basketball season. I referred to it today on Twitter. Pardon me. And so this guy named Scott Todd. I really don't know what he's famous for. I found the quote when I was listening to a podcast. Okay, it's high expectations innovate, high expectations persevere, high expectations don't quit until they're satisfied. Okay. And I think this is extremely applicable for what we're watching at Purdue football. The change that has happened, the amazing chemistry change, the amazing personnel change, the way guys react to criticism, the way guys react to success, and the way guys react to failure is so far away. I can't even say 180 degrees. I can say we are counties away. We are states away from what happened last year, right? Jeff Brom has installed and instilled a confidence and a culture that has already changed everything, right? Things are different. Purdue gets a big lead. Purdue makes a mistake, and Jeff Brom comes in and just chews on somebody's ass. And what do they say? They don't bitch. They don't turn around, run to the bench, throw down their helmet. They listen to the coach say, yes, sir. And then they go out and they succeed 2 drives later, right? Because his expectations are high, and they believe his story, right?
Mm-hmm.
First time.
Anybody disagree?
No, that's the first time that they've had a story to believe in. I think probably their entire college football careers. I think all of them were four-year Hazel players. Yeah, even the transfers.
Right.
Like, I don't think any of them came from the Jallo came from Western Kentucky, so he knows. You know what I mean? Like they're. I think when you have somebody to believe in, like as a player. And to know, like, that's the other thing is that that there's no, there's no ulterior motive. He's not bullshitting you. That he literally has nothing on his mind other than football. They've tried to actually. My favorite thing, I think it was Nathan Baird was saying that the best thing that Purdue fans should be hearing was a quote from earlier this week, from Thursday, when they asked him what jerseys they'd be wearing. Mm-hmm. He was like, I think we're wearing the chrome helmets, but I don't know. Like, he doesn't care. If you remember, the last coach was all about, he knew every little part of the wardrobe. Brom is like, I got plays to draw, man. Like, it's just like right? when you know that the frills will be taken care of by somebody else, when the football is going to be taken care of by your head coach, by the guy who's going to be chewing you out at the end of things. It's like it's a different feeling.
I have to interrupt before we end here. It was just sent to us by one of our readers. I'm assuming I don't know if you guys have seen Tom Fornelli is like an SI guy who's like loving Purdue this year.
Yeah.
So it was just sent to us. There's a Sports Illustrated tweet up from 9:00 tonight, and it says it's got an image of Fuller running, and it says the most dramatic one-year turnaround in college football has gone largely unnoticed. The Big Ten doesn't have Purdue to kick around anymore.
Please continue to not notice us.
Exactly.
Nothing to see here. Our coach is bad. He's not really that good. Don't worry about it. Look over there. Watch somebody else.
Everything's horrible here.
Yeah, don't. Everything's still, Purdue, Purdue, still a joke.
We still suck here.
Yeah, you got a gimme coming up, Michigan. So bye. Just step right over it.
Oh my God, this is so good. It was so much fun to just feel wire to wire, like giddy happiness today. Like it was nothing, like it was why you fall in love with sports, right? Nobody falls in love with a miserable team. Yeah, these are the kind of teams that's like, when you're a kid, you don't really know you don't care about the 3-star, 4-star, 5-star rankings. You just care about like who looks cool and who doesn't. And Purdue is cool. Purdue's fun. Purdue's unpredictable. Purdue's aggressive. It's like this is the kind of team that people who are watching, recruits and kids and those of us who have, been jaded throughout the year, this is the kind of team that you fall in love with. It's not a national title contender yet, but it's still, it doesn't matter. Oh, it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful.
It's a different era. It's a different era. And I here's the thing. I feel sad for the Purdue students who went their entire 4 years without seeing something like this.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, that's the hardest thing. Like,
bad for the players who never got to experience anything fun.
Yeah, exactly. It stings a bit, right? And the interesting thing is my son is 11 years old, and this stuff, we're already making memories about what he
Oh my
thinks
gosh,
of Purdue
11 years
football,
old.
right?
I mean, he hasn't. There's a good example. He's super into football in Purdue, and he's not seeing anything worth cheering for.
He's a diehard. He knows so much about.
He's seen 40 losses in 50 games.
Exactly. That's what he knows.
What is
That's the SEC network, man. They're like, well, let's see. We're getting our asses whomped by a Big Ten team that everyone thought was bad. So what do we put on the screen? Hey, let's talk about how they sucked up till now.
Can we make sure that any SEC fan that we know, they can't run away from Mizzou if they're an SEC fan of Vandy, they can't run away from
That's
Mizzou.
why I keep writing stuff about like SEC school, because it's any SEC fan is like grinding their teeth, like, but not really. They're not really an SEC school.
You get the whole conference, you get none of it.
They have to take responsibility for Mizzou.
That's right. It's Mizzou is your problem to deal with. Much like Rutgers. That's why Rutgers. That's why we don't root for the Big Ten.
Rutgers was favored by 41 and won by like 51, which I was shocked. I didn't think they could score 50 points with no one else on the field.
How bad is that team?
They are so staggeringly bad. But hey, maybe
Yep.
Final thought. Final thought of the day. We're gonna go through just that. I'm gonna reread that paragraph again. That schedule. Home games: Minnesota, Nebraska, Illinois, Indiana. The road games: Rutgers, Northwestern, Iowa. Out of those 7 games, we're not going to touch Michigan. We're not going to touch the Wisconsin games. Those are, if we get them, it's gravy. Out of those 7 games,
you can pull 4 out of that.
I was just going to say,
4
more to get to 6 doesn't sound as crazy as it
doesn't sound crazy all of a sudden.
Yeah.
No. Now I'm greedy.
7 or 8 wins.
I want Fleck.
7 or 8 wins.
Oh, I want Fleck. I
bring
agree.
his
I
head
want
on
every
his
bit of Fleck. I want him and his doofy ass shirt and tie under a pullover routine. Like, I don't even know what's going on there.
I've got some great thoughts on Fleck. I'll save it for the Minnesota
Yeah.
podcast.
That's going to be.
We're going to do. We might do a Big Ten Purdue non-Purdue. Everyone, a little wet your whistle here. We might do a Big Ten handsome hour.
Hashtag
Which-
content.
this week.
Man, that'll
Hashtag
be so
content
fun.
because
That'd be
people
so
are
fun.
actually listening to content now. So
I think everybody would like our takes on the various coaches. And
It's
teams.
amazing how much more popular we are when the content is
we're
good,
better
right?
looking.
Like when the product
but
is
what we're
good.
writing about isn't an embarrassment.
I'm super handsome.
Although the bad
It's fun.
teams have brought out some of our best writing, like the
Yes.
It's
sarcastic.
true.
I've said that a while.
And no one saw it but our
peak
moms.
snark. Peak snark level.
There's no chance my
Hey,
mom.
can I
reads
ask you guys
what I write.
one real question before we close down? Are you guys seeing this as well? You see a coach that was mentioned at some point in our coaching search, our broad net that we cast.
Right.
We don't even
Like,
know.
man, I didn't
contact
glad we
him.
didn't get that
But
guy.
all I can think is Purdue got exactly.
Yeah, they got
They
the
got
guy.
exactly the
Home
freaking
run.
dude they
Home
need.
run.
They got the
right?
guy we wanted,
They got
and
that dude.
He was that dude, and they
They
went
got
out.
the guy.
And he had doubts, and they went out and made sure they got
You?
that guy.
Yes.
Yep.
No, Brahm. Brahm had
yeah.
doubts.
I know.
Brahm
I'm
was
saying,
on
wouldn't
defense.
you if you were Brahm?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I would have doubts.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Why
Yep.
leave Western
He
Kentucky?
had a great thing going at Western Kentucky. He had a lot of guys coming back. He was making decent money, I think. Like,
Doing okay.
there
Purdue
was-
there was
wasn't
a vision.
the option.
And there was a vision, and he's executing
Right.
it now. It's amazing. This is the best feeling in the world, and I will stand by it. I think there are 20 coaching staff, like fans, who wouldn't trade their coaching staffs for 20. There are 20 in the country that would not. The 21st, they're taking Brahm. They're taking Brahm off our heads, and that is the.
This coaching staff. It's not just Brahm though. That's the
It's the
magic.
entire band.
Yep.
It's everybody.
He hired well
It's
too.
the whole.
Well,
Yeah,
because Holt was the DC for
Oh man, did he?
USC, wasn't he?
Western Kentucky, yeah.
No, no, he was at Pete Carroll's USC teams. That's where he really.
Yeah, but he
made
was
it.
recently. But I think he was recently with Brom.
Yes, he was recently
Yeah,
with the you know he.
But
Brom
he has that
stole him,
experience
right?
with
Because
them,
he didn't do well at Idaho.
But they brought the whole coaching staff. That's another difference is that he was allowed to bring the whole coaching staff. Had a budget for the linebackers coach to bring the entire staff up, and there's continuity and it's
His staff. They just were a Kent State staff that they were really wanted.
Yeah, continuity is better than nothing. You know what I mean? And they were even the last staff wasn't allowed continuity, so that's why it took them a year to just get on the same page and understand each other. This team hit the ground running, and so that's I'm standing by it. I'm standing by my crazy. That's as crazy as I'll get today. But I think we got a podcast.
Next thing we got to say he is a top 50 coaching staff guy.
I think we were
last week it was the best one in the nation. This week it's top 20. Next week it'll be top 50.
I chose my words very carefully.
Hey man, I got to parse. I got to parse. It's the year of parsing. It's the year of parsing.
Boo, Anish.
You've been listening to the Bold Sports Anthem Hour.
BS all the time.